Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Darren McGrath. I'm the chairman of Fleettown Colts, and I'm really pleased to introduce you to our first committee newsletter, which is just bringing together the season. I'm joined by our exec committee, which is great to see them all this morning. So just give us a quick wave, guys. So Claire Ollington, who is our club secretary. Michelle Holtz, who is our club treasurer. And Simon in the very stylish shirt, who is our child welfare officer. Great, fantastic. Thanks, guys. Well, firstly, on a serious note, we genuinely hope that everybody is safe and well in this pretty testing time for all of us. So that really is our first priority as a club, the safety and make sure that everybody's okay. Like all of you, we want to get back to football as soon as we can when it's safe to do so. I think it's fair to say that we're all missing the social interaction, the physical interactions of the training and the matches. So, fingers crossed, everyone's doing what they need to do, and hopefully we'll be back playing as soon as we possibly can and when we're advised to as a club. Like I said, this is our first video newsletter, and we will be adding this through various social media channels just to really communicate where the club is and what's been happening this season and moving forwards. Something that I know a lot of the players and the coaches and the parents are keen to understand is around how the leagues have finished. We were consulted by a number of the leagues, as was every other club in grassroots level, could or should finish. So there are updates on the relevant association websites from North East Hants Youth League, Surrey and East Berks, and we have consulted at every point with our coaches when we've been asked to put our views across as a club, which is great. So please make sure you visit the relevant websites, and there will be communication on those coming through. I suppose a few thanks for the season. It's been a really, other than the ending, it's been a really positive season for us as a club, and we wouldn't be able to do that without the thanks of, firstly, the exec committee, which is great, the time and effort that everyone puts in to make sure that everyone's safe, the finances are working, and that we are adhering to all of our standard chartered requirements. Also to our coaches, I think a lot of you will recognise the sheer amount of effort that our coaches and assistant coaches and team administrators put in throughout the season. Nobody gets paid. This is all voluntary. We don't have to do it, and they don't have to do it. So without them, massive thanks. Also to you as parents, as carers, and all of our players. I think it's fantastic. We really are. We're the best club in Fleet. We're slightly biased, but the best club in Fleet, without a doubt. And also, I think it's really important to recognise what's happened this season with our sponsors. We were able, during the season, to kit out 95% of our teams who required new kit. That was a significant investment that we wouldn't have been able to do as a club just on subs alone. So we needed to run things like tournaments and get sponsors. So that was been really great. And actually what that enabled us to do at Christmas time was where requested by the team coach, we were able to provide every child in the club a branded rain jacket of Fleettown Colts, which we'd never done before. So really good moves in that space. And like I said, without our sponsors, that wouldn't be possible. And I suppose the final point for me, which again is really important, which demonstrates our commitment as a club to the community, is we took a decision with our committee and our coaches. We did some fundraising. Special shout out to our under 14 section and our Sunday club. We managed to raise a significant amount of money between the activity of the under 14s Christmas party and Dave Marlowe and Chris Bevis and some of the other coaches on our Sunday club. We were then able to donate and fund a defibrillator at Calthorpe Park School, which has gone down fantastically with the school governors, with the local community, and we've had local press coverage on that. So again, really fantastic effort from all of us to be able to do these great things. It's not just about football, it's about what we do for the community as well. And then even in the last 2 weeks, Claire Ollington, our secretary, managed to apply for an additional defibrillator through some funding as well. So we now have another defibrillator to place at another venue, which this life-saving equipment is absolutely vital for not just our players, coaches, parents, but actually anyone in the public. Okay, so that's enough from me. I'm going to now pass you on to our very stylish Simon McDowell, who's just going to give you an update on some of the welfare considerations and things that he's been dealing with this season. So over to you, Simon.
Thank you, Darren. At least I made an effort to dress up for this occasion. So going forward, child welfare officer, I'm responsible for the club ensuring it understands what our responsibilities are when young people and children are playing football under Fleet Town Colts, but also for the coaches, managers, those associated with the clubs, so that they also understand their responsibilities, whether that be a DBS check or the relevant training and qualifications that they should hold when coaching or participating in leading teams, etc. So that's just generally my role. I think this year, pleased to say that it's been a quieter year than previous years in terms of the efforts and the number of incidents of welfare. So just thank you to all of the players, all the coaches, and to the parents for all of the effort that they put in focusing onto the Respect programme. So ensuring that the Respect lines are out on the day, they're only giving positive information during the game. So it's really great to see, as I've been around a number of matches over the course of the shortened season, just to see the real effort everyone's putting in. So thank you very much indeed from that aspect. I think going forward, I think general guidance is that we should have 2 welfare officers for a club of our size. We've got over 200 children participating each weekend. So really just a request out to everyone in the younger age groups. If you've got a player or maybe you have a family member that's looking to help and volunteer and assist the club, then please do get in touch. The welfare officer role is probably about an hour a week, spread across the whole season. There will be busier patches, but that's just an average across. There's suitable level of training given, and it's a very worthwhile and rewarding role, certainly within the club, and one that's necessary for us to maintain our charter standard status. So bit of a shout out there. Hopefully we'll get people volunteering, please. That'd be amazing. And I'm carrying on, so it's not as if I'll still be here to help and support any new member of the team. So I think, as Dan said, from a welfare for the defibrillator, etc., that's it's an amazing achievement from those that did that fundraising. But as we move into the new season now, clearly some of the players, or a lot of the players, will not have as much footballing exposure as we've had in this shortened season. So we've got to think about their welfare going forward and think about how they're going to sort of start the season, make sure, especially in the older age groups, that they're not going to get any injuries from movement, etc. So getting them moving, getting them ready for football the next season is going to be really important. I think in that regard, as a club, what we're looking to do is to get them back into that football feeling, and if they can record a skill that they've developed. It might be ball juggling with a toilet roll, it might be a 6-year-old doing round the world, or it could be a 15-year-old recreating Pele's overhead kick with an escape to victory. Whatever it is, the most ingenious, the most fantastic, send it in to one of our social media channels, whether that's Facebook, Twitter, or the other one, which I can't remember, and we will award a prize to different age groups, and the committee will decide which one is the best, and we'll publicise that out through it. So let's get the guys, the boys, the girls thinking about the upcoming season, whenever that might start, and I know Claire and others will talk about that in a minute, but get them into that football feeling, as I say. So let's get recording and get those skills. Thanks. Over to Michelle.
Sorry, hi guys. So I look after the finances of the club. Just money coming in, going out. It's an interesting role. We've done very well as a club this year, and we finished in a fairly strong cash position, and we're not concerned about the shortening of the season or anything along those lines. What we have also decided to do is usually the kind of collection of the subs and money will start, that whole process kind of starts off kind of mid to late summer, so kind of late July, early August type time. We're going to delay that out this year, purely because we don't actually know when the season's going to be able to start. We don't know how long it's going to be, so therefore we don't know what our costs are going to be yet. So what we're going to do is delay kind of we definitely won't start collecting subs till at least September this year, and then we'll let you know nearer the time what they will be, how we will be collecting. So it's possible that we can start going over a longer or more monthly payments. So I think last year we introduced the 4-stage payments, so that you could pay over a period of 4 months rather than all in one lump sum. So it might be this year that we can do that over 5 months, for example, or 6 months. So help kind of ease that financial burden of kind of paying for the football. It's not a lot of money. I think it's quite a reasonable amount of money. We try and keep the subs as low as we possibly can, but we do appreciate that, it's been a bit hard over the last few months for some of us. So we'll do everything we can to help with that. And as always, if anyone's got any issues with affordability, with being able to play football, we'll never ever turn anybody away. So please just get in touch with me. My email address is on the website and everything. So give me a shout. I will always respond back with help and assistance wherever we can. And similarly, if anyone's interested in helping out with the treasurer role, my son's coming up. He'll be under 16 this year, so I've only got another season or so left before I'm probably going to have to kind of throw in the towel when it comes to being treasurer. So if anybody else wants to learn how to do this role, it's not particularly complicated. But if anyone else wants to kind of shadow me for a year or so, I don't know at what point I'll give up, but if anyone else has got a strong interest in helping me out and maybe shadowing the position, then please let me know, and I'll help out and we can have a conversation. I think that's it from me, but yeah, give me a shout if you've got any queries, and I will hand over to Claire.
Thanks, Michelle. So as secretary for the club, one of the key roles that I fulfil is applying annually for our charter standard. That's obviously a really important process, including our insurances, to make sure that as a club we have the right insurances in place to protect the players and also us as a club as well. Additionally, we have an annual AGM process, which is an annual general meeting that I run, and we will be holding this year's AGM on Monday the 29th of June at 7:30 p.m. via Zoom, obviously, current situation. Everybody will be invited from the club as normal. Details will be sent out roughly 14 days beforehand, but I'll do it just before. This is where you can put yourself forward for some of the roles. The key roles that are elected as part of the AGM are obviously our chairman, our treasurer, our child welfare officer, with or without funky shirts, and also the secretary. Additionally, we look at the age group coordinators and elect them into the roles, because generally we have more than one team in each of the age groups. We have an age group coordinator. We've introduced events coordinators this year, and I'll go on to that in a second, with one of the first events that we've held since being in lockdown. And also pitches and the way that we manage and select the pitches. So quite a bit of rationalisation has gone in the last season. It was actually a very, very busy season with regards to sponsorship, new kit, looking at the pitches. So Michael Linton has been doing that and working with also with Darren. So that's also allowed us to have a bit more money in the bank because there was a lot of wastage previously. We've done some rationalisation. So that's great again for the club. In terms of events, we've now got Chris Snowden and Craig Wingate that are managing our events. So they've been busy putting a schedule together for the new season and also for the end of this season. So we had a very interesting quiz night a couple of weeks ago via Zoom, which was lots and lots of fun, and really consisted with the managers and the committee. What we will look to doing is ways that we can introduce events via Zoom, and also when we come out of this situation with the pandemic, as to really boosting the club and having more events. And one of the main ones that we're talking about is having some form of a Christmas party that will include all of the age groups as well. So there was a Christmas party that was arranged by some parents in one of the older groups this season, and that worked really, really well. So it's something that we're going to look at doing as a club, and teaming up with the main Fleet Town Football Club to do that. They have obviously the premises with the football club. A whole host of work has gone on there to bring it up to standard as well, and a great place to be in terms of holding events. We want to support them, and equally they want to support us as a club. So we're going to join up with them. So yeah, lots of events. We'll issue an event schedule. I will send out the details for the AGM. As many of you that can join as possible, that will be great. There'll be details of the roles, and I'm sure there are going to be some other ones that we're going to introduce this year as well, that will also support volunteering activities that we need to help the club run and be successful, tournaments and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's really important that we have volunteers to help us, because we have our managers, we have obviously the committee. We all pitch in and help where we can in each of the other areas. As a committee, we all help each other, and also I know the managers, they all support each other as well. So, but the more volunteers make it a whole lot easier to make the club a success. So we'll be sending some more details out about that as well. And that's about it from me, really. Yeah, we've had a great season. I mean, it's been, apart from obviously the latter part of it with the pandemic, which is a real shame because we did have a strong season, and we've done an awful lot this year. So accompanying this video, we will send out some details of some of the other stuff that we've done as well, just so all the parents and all the supporters are aware. That's it from me. So back to Darren, I believe.
Great. Thanks, Claire. Thanks, guys. Look, really good updates from everyone. Really pleased. I think just final point from me, as Claire and everyone said, it's been a really positive season. One of the great strides that we've made as a club as well is we've been working really closely with, as Claire said, the senior club of Fleet Town, and we've also been linking in really closely with the girls and ladies. We have spent a few months now really reviewing how we move forward as a community club, and we're really excited to share with our parents and supporters and players that in the coming months, once a bit more normality comes back, that we will be pushing on to become a recognised community club as different sections. So from the ladies and the girls and ladies, the Colts and the senior club. And I think it's been really evident this year with the support of our players going on at half time at games at Fleet Town, and the Fleet Town coaching staff come down and support us as coaches at training sessions. A lot of these guys and girls have got UEFA B licenses and more advanced in terms of their training qualification. So as a club, we're really looking to develop that path so that children can join us on Sunday club at under 6, reception year children, and take us all the way through with the ambition to be playing for the first team, which for us as a club is something we've always strived to do. And it really does feel with the current committee and the current committees of the girls and the ladies and the senior club, we really are in a good position to do that. So I think it's really, really important. And actually, in terms of football and youth football and children's football, there isn't another club within this area who can actually show and share that development path. So, you know, absolutely proud. All of us are proud once we're able to get that over the line and be recognised. What that then enables us to do as a club is to get more development grants and things like that from the FA, from Hampshire FA. So that's it really from our first video newsletter. We hope you've liked it and you like the backgrounds and the stylish shirt. Like Simon said, sending in your videos of your skills to Facebook, to Instagram, or email the club with them, and we're really encouraging everybody to, as Simon said, to get out there and get active. So thanks everyone, and we will catch you all hopefully at the AGM. Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.